are continuing our series of interviewing valedictorians and salutatorians from McKinney ISD. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you today the valedictorian at McKinney High School, who happens to be Roshni Patel. And we're delighted to have her represent our school district and represent McKinney High School. Roshni has been a student here in McKinney her entire school career. She started out at McNeil Elementary, then on to Fabian, and is now graduating from McKinney High School. Roshni, what activities have you been involved in at McKinney High School?
Well, I've been involved in the orchestra since freshman year. I play the violin and the piano, so I'm now vice president of our orchestra, so that's always been really rewarding. Mm-hmm. And something else I've been really involved in is Model United Nations, which is kind of a simulation of the actual United Nations. You know, we go to conferences and we debate topics that the actual UN would talk about, and it's definitely very informative and gets students to have, you know, a bigger global perspective, and I'm really glad that I was able to make that a bigger organization at McKinney High.
Okay. And with that organization, did I get that you're co-president?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How did you receive that honor?
Well, at the end of my junior year, there were actually only 2 juniors left in the club, so it fell to us to kind of make the club a big organization again, and so we had to recruit people and get it back on its feet, and so that's just kind of how we became co-presidents.
So how many are in the club now?
I would say we have about 40 members, of which maybe 20 are like really committed, and then the rest, they kind of come in when they have time and busy schedules and stuff like that.
Right, I understand. But that's quite an accomplishment to build it up that much.
Thank you.
In a year's time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something else. Well, what is your favorite subject and interest?
Well, I really love biochemistry, which is what I'm going on to study, because for me it's the best part of biology and chemistry. It takes like organic biology, biology at the very small molecular level, and then it's chemistry, but only when it relates to biological organisms. So I just find that really interesting.
Okay,
so.
Great. And so you're going on to UCal Berkeley.
Yes.
and major in biochemistry.
Yes,
then?
I am.
And what are your goals after that? Do you have you decided what you're going to do after that?
Well, I do want to go into research. So definitely more of that route rather than like engineering or an applied science. And so I know that grad school is one of those things that is definitely necessary for what I want to do, but beyond that, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay, well, that's great. What has been the most challenging aspect of high school, and how have you managed this challenge?
I think for me, the most challenging aspect is definitely finding a balance between like school and my friends and my family and all the organizations that I'm involved with. Because, I don't know, I have a tendency to overcommit to things. So that's definitely been a challenge to trying to adjust all of that and figure out what I can really commit to and what I have to let go. So yeah, I'm still managing that, so haven't solved it yet.
Yeah, well, you probably will manage that the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That'll be a challenge for you. How do you deal with stress? I mean, because you've taken a lot of AP classes, and to finish top in your class, you've had to work hard. How do you decompress?
I don't know. I'd like to say something intellectual, but the reality is it's probably just I watch The Office, and that's how I decompress.
Okay. Yeah.
I try not to let the stress get to me because I don't know. It doesn't. I try to think of it like as it doesn't matter that much in the long run. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Who has been a particular mentor or inspirational figure in your life?
I would say that Mr. Wilson and Ms. Hogan, the 2 sponsors of Model UN, have been really great in not only like helping us like getting the club running, but also just like they helped me find that interest in social studies. For a long time I was only interested in like the hard sciences, but I have this like new interest in like economics and political science and all this stuff, and I don't think I would have had that without them or Model United Nations. And so they've been really great to me.
That's super. Could you give me one piece of advice one piece of advice would you give to an 8th grade student that's entering McKinney High School?
I would say definitely challenge yourself, you know, whether you want that to be academically or musically or athletically. Just challenge yourself to do the best that you can do and not anybody else's expectations of you, because it's so much more rewarding when it comes from yourself. And then, you know, if you overcommit, like I always do, it's not a big deal, because, you know, you put yourself out there, and, you know, just constantly strive to be the best version of yourself.
Okay, great. What did you do as far as when you applied to UCal Berkeley? What process did you go through to do that? I mean, when did you first apply, and what attracted you to UCal Berkeley? Okay.
Well, I had known for a long time that the California public schools were, you know, absolutely great when it came to the sciences. So I applied to 4 of them: Berkeley, UC Davis, UC San Diego, and UCLA. And so I think the application opens in like October, early October. And so when I applied, I didn't love Berkeley as much as I do now, because I just didn't know as much about it. But, you know, once I started getting my acceptance letters back and I visited, I realized that I had completely underestimated Cal. It's a much better school than I ever thought it was in the beginning. And it has so much to offer, like academically and socially, and it's just a wonderful place. I know everyone says that about their college, but
Right. They're excited about going there. But as far as the application, you applied your junior year?
No. My October of my senior year
Okay, October
was when
senior.
the application opens. I believe it's due like December 1st or something
Did
like
you
that.
have to go through an interview process at all?
No, there wasn't an interview. There's
Okay.
like 2 essays. They ask you to fill out some extracurriculars.
Were the essays, did you have to do any research when you did the essays, or did you just basically write, what exactly was incorporated in that?
Well, the essays are more of personal essays. I think one of them is about an extracurricular activity that was most meaningful to you. And I believe for that one, I wrote about Model United Nations. And I think another one was about like a challenge you overcame. So, you know, it's just
more about getting into your character,
right,
and what motivates you.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great. Well, years from now, when you look back at your total experience in McKinney ISD, what will you remember most about your experience?
I think definitely the relationships I've made here, you know, not just with teachers, but with administrators and students. Because, you know, even if you don't keep in touch with someone, which, you know, it's impossible to keep in touch with the entire McKinney High community, it's just, I know they've had a very significant impact on me and who I've become. And I'm really grateful for that. And I'll always remember that.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, I want to tell you, Roshni, it's a pleasure to meet you and visit with you, and look forward to shaking your hand on graduation day and listening to what you have to say in your address to the crowd. Have you finished the speech yet?
No, I haven't. I'm still working on it.
Okay, well, that's great.
Okay.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, and make it a great week.